Africa is widely recognized for its prehistoric discoveries, being the birthplace of the human species. Early humans and their ancestors, like Homo erectus, developed tools, mastered fire, and eventually migrated to other continents. Modern humans appeared in East Africa around 200,000 years ago, and by 100,000 years ago, humans had fully developed brains and cognitive abilities. Early African inventions like hand axes, fishing hooks, bows, and boats predate written history by thousands of years. Known as the cradle of mankind, Africa's rich archaeological history is well studied, but fewer people focus on its ancient reptilian predators like Sarcosuchus and Suchomimus. So today, we are diving into these predators that dominated the ancient African landscape. During the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, which spanned over 135 million years, dinosaurs dominated the planet, with no other land animals coming close to their size. However, about 130 million years ago, a massive crocodile-like reptile called Sarcosuchus appeared, rivaling some dinosaurs in size. Sarcosuchus was not your average croc. It was a giant predator that lived in the mid-Cretaceous period, and its existence showcases just how diverse ancient reptiles were at the time. The remains of Sarcosuchus found so far are incomplete, making it tricky to determine its exact size. However, estimates based on fossilized remains suggest it may have been up to 12 meters long and weighed around 8 tons, potentially making it the largest crocodile-like creature ever. More recent methods of calculating body size suggest it may have been closer to 9 or 10 meters long. But even then, Sarcosuchus was still a colossal animal, almost twice the size of modern-day crocodiles, such as the saltwater crocodile. Its massive skull alone was nearly the length of an adult human. Sarcosuchus fossils have been uncovered throughout the Sahara Desert, but during its time, the Sahara was not the dry, sandy expanse we know today. Instead, it was a tropical wetland, with rivers and lakes that supported a variety of large herbivorous dinosaurs. This environment provided the perfect habitat for a giant crocodile-like predator like Sarcosuchus. A smaller relative of Sarcosuchus, known as Sarcosuchus hardi, has also been discovered in Brazil, highlighting the connection between South America and Africa when they were part of the same landmass during the mid-Cretaceous period. Sarcosuchus wasn't the only giant reptile in its ecosystem. Spinosaurus, one of the largest known carnivorous dinosaurs, lived in a similar environment about 20 million years later. In fact, Sarcosuchus likely shared its habitat with an early relative of Spinosaurus, a smaller dinosaur called Suchomimus. The watery environment was ideal for large predators like Sarcosuchus. But what exactly did it feed on? Many scientists believe that Sarcosuchus preyed on large herbivorous dinosaurs, similar to how modern crocodiles hunt large mammals like wildebeest. In the ancient ecosystem where Sarcosuchus lived, one common herbivore was the iguanodon relative Lurdosaurus. This elephant-sized dinosaur may have been a target for Sarcosuchus, especially if it spent time near water. Interestingly, Lurdosaurus has been suggested as a semi-aquatic dinosaur, meaning it might have lived similarly to hippos, spending a lot of time in water. If true, this could mean that Sarcosuchus and Lurdosaurus coexisted in close proximity, similar to how hippos and crocodiles do today. However, much like how adult hippos are too large to be threatened by crocodiles, adult Lurdosaurus might have been safe from Sarcosuchus, with only juveniles being at risk. In addition to Lurdosaurus, Sarcosuchus may have also preyed on smaller sauropods like Nigersaurus. Unlike the massive sauropods we typically think of, Nigersaurus was a smaller species and might have been within the size range that Sarcosuchus could tackle. If Sarcosuchus did indeed hunt dinosaurs, it would have been one of the few reptiles capable of preying on such large animals, making it a formidable predator of its time. Sarcosuchus's dominance in this ancient watery ecosystem highlights how diverse and complex prehistoric life was, especially during the reign of the dinosaurs. Although it wasn't technically a true crocodile, Sarcosuchus serves as a reminder that the ancient world was filled with strange and powerful creatures that defy our expectations, and that reptiles, not just dinosaurs, played a massive role in shaping the prehistoric landscape. So, one issue with the whole dinosaur-eating theory about Sarcosuchus, the giant crocodile, is that its skull might not have been the best shape for hunting big prey. It probably was better suited for snagging smaller animals. Crocodiles have jaws built for powerful bites, but they don't have much flexibility, Pretty much just up and down. Plus, since their jaws are so long, they can't use their front claws to pin down their prey like other carnivores can. Because of these limitations, crocodiles often rely on a technique called a death roll. They bite down on a piece of their prey and spin to rip it apart. This technique is also used to take down living animals. A study from 2014 looked at models of huge extinct crocodile skulls to see if they could pull off this death roll too. They found that creatures like Purosaurus, a giant caiman from about 20 million years ago, and Deinosuchus likely could do it. But Sarcosuchus? Not so much. If Sarcosuchus couldn't perform death rolls, it either had to stick to smaller prey or find different ways to hunt big animals compared to modern crocs. Also, there's no solid proof that Sarcosuchus actually feasted on dinosaurs. Now, another giant croc, Deinosuchus, lived around 40 million years later in North America and was a true crocodile, unlike Sarcosuchus, which came from an ancient lineage that's now extinct. Deinosuchus was a whopping 10 meters long and had a wider, shorter skull that made it better equipped for death rolls. Plus, there's some evidence showing Deinosuchus actually did eat dinosaurs. Bite marks found on dinosaur bones match its teeth. So, it looks like Deinosuchus was probably the real dinosaur-crunching croc we often think Sarcosuchus was. Since Sarcosuchus's jaw doesn't seem great for munching on large animals, some scientists think it mainly dined on fish. Its long jaw and big nostrils resemble those of a gharial, which is a fish eater. Even crocodiles that don't have special jaws can catch fish now and then, so Sarcosuchus probably could too. Interestingly, gharials are some of the biggest crocodiles today, and there was also a giant croc called Purosaurus that lived millions of years ago and was likely a fish eater. This suggests that giant crocs can survive on a fish diet. Although Sarcosuchus and gharials were about the same length, Sarcosuchus had a much bigger snout, hinting they didn't lead the same lifestyles. The freshwater areas where Sarcosuchus lived had tons of giant fish, like the 3-meter-long coelacanth. So, maybe Sarcosuchus specialized in hunting larger fish, or, more likely, evolved from fish-eating ancestors to have a more varied diet. Its closest relatives, like Vestatosuchus, had long skulls better suited for eating fish too. So, Sarcosuchus might have snacked on a mix of fish and smaller dinosaurs, thanks to its long jaw inherited from its ancestors. This is similar to modern-day false gharials, which look a lot like gharials, but have broader snouts and eat a wide variety of prey, including bigger animals like monkeys. Sarcosuchus could have been similar, but on a larger scale. These giant crocs were likely common in ancient African wetlands and probably had a mixed diet of fish and maybe some small dinosaurs. They all vanished around 110 million years ago, likely due to climate change. Large predators like them are pretty reliant on their ecosystems being healthy, which can be a tough spot to be in. But Sarcosuchus wasn't the last of the giant crocs. They evolved again later in the Cretaceous, and the giant croc, Purosaurus, stuck around until about 10,000 years ago. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you want to keep up with all the amazing content about the giant reptiles that terrorized ancient Africa, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. This way, you'll be the first to know about all our future updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And hey, we'd love to hear your ideas for future videos, so drop your suggestions in the comments below.